all of the settings sorted first. We will keep to subscribers only and the usual message delay. There we go. Excellent. We're ready to go. The sun is on its way to setting, and I'm going to just reverse out of here very carefully and slowly. I think I have a car sat there. Are they waiting for me to come out? I think they are. Okay, they're kind of blocking everyone else from taking me out, so that's a good thing. Oh, it's back again. The internet is not great. Oh, so downside of this, I will be driving into the sun for the first part of this. I don't think it's going to be long before it sets, which is a good thing. Because, yeah, not pleasant to drive into that. So off we go. I'm just going to flip this around. You can see where I'm off to. Hey, Josh is in. Hi, Josh. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. You catch me in a bit of a driving stream. Just having started. Heading out of Olsey. Oh, I'm in the wrong gear. If I was in second, I was in fourth. So plenty of fuel from the top up over at that weird... I call it petrol station, but it can't because it doesn't sell petrol. They only do diesel, so we call it a diesel filling station. I'm glad to hear it's going good, Josh. Oh, here we go. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, little darling. Hey, Fluff is in. Hi, Fluff. Glad to have you here. I always get worried on the driving streams because there's going to be some randoms in always. Oh, I didn't check to see if the camera has any, like the lens has any kind of gump on it that will cause flares. Might have been a bit slack with that. Hopefully won't get too much flare when the lights on people's headlights start being the brightest thing around. Oh, the sun's making a bit of a lens flare, but that's always going to be the case, isn't it, really? It's a karaoke stream. Could well be. I was struggling to think of a topic, but then Nigel in the comments that I just had a quick peruse before going live. I didn't have time to start doing responses, but I did have a quick look, and Nigel has actually given a fairly good idea for a topic. So I have utilised his suggestion and broadened it slightly because I realised that we're going to be on stream for a couple of hours. And we need quite a wide and varied topic that we can sort of roam into different subjects with a little bit. It is very bright, Josh. Not pleasant to drive towards, I will admit. But I'm glad to have my working day done with. I've had some food and now it's a reasonable time in the evening to drive to Fluff's, where I shouldn't expect to get there too late, but I'm also not going to be fighting traffic. So the first bit we've got to do is get along the 507 here and then meet up with the M1 and straight up the M1 to the A50, across there and back down to Burton. Shouldn't be too much of a struggle. Yeah, I'm feeling like that sun's going to set pretty soon, thankfully. Hi Gracie, yes, very early tonight, as it's a driving stream. I won't get there until about 10 o'clock, which means if I tried to stream after the drive, we'd be looking at a 10:30 or 11 o'clock stream, and nobody wants that. Well, I say that, some people probably don't mind that timing. Oh, all that sun. Could do with an eclipse about now. So how are you, Gracie? Hope you're well. We know what not bad means. It means you're good. There you go. It does look beautiful, Fluff, but not as beautiful as you. Not that anything can match your beauty, of course. So it kind of goes without saying. But I do like to say it still. Back to Fluff's, that's where I'm going, Gracie. I have next 10 days off work. Nice long bit of time because the bank holiday at the end of the month means I get an extra day, which I'm quite happy about. Yeah, you get a lot of practice with me, I guess, don't you, Fluff? Hey, Nigel's in. Good evening, Nigel. How are you doing, my friend? Hope you're well. We're going to be using your suggested topic today, although I've broadened it out a little bit. We'll start with the seasons and we'll go from there with other things that we dislike and like. Gotta give it a broader like opportunity for a long 2-hour stream. So then guess what comes along again? Probably annoyed. But why are you talking about yourself in the third person, Gracie? That's weird. But I'm guessing something's annoyed you today. We have Leland Midwood in. Hi, Leland. Broader palette. I like that. What, Gracie? You're just being weird again. Settle down, do a bit of box breathing, centre yourself and try to be making a bit of sense and not completely nuts. We'll be good. You're just in a funky mood today then, Gracie, I see. I noticed that you have your days where you're in a sensible mood and days where you are not in a sensible mood. Leland, I'm heading to Burton, so I'm going across the 507 here towards the M1, and then I will join the M1 and head north all the way just south of Derby and take the A50 across, so then eventually dart downwards a little bit, like, well, southwards, I guess. It's down on the map at the end of the day. Oh yeah, Nigel, don't overdo it. You'll have a running for the hills. I have no idea where that is, Leland, but Probably best not to give away exact locations, to be fair. Yeah, you're not wrong, Nigel. Quite a nice time to drive. Get a little bit of everything. Admittedly, the trees are doing all right by me, and they're keeping me from having to look at the sunset, which would be a bit much. It looks nice on the stream, but it's quite difficult to drive into if the sun's right there on the horizon in front of me. So I'd like it as long as it's not too crazy. Yeah, just nice to have the views, but not necessarily have the sun right directly in front of me. Oh, that sky does look nice. Oh yeah, the clouds are covering it up now, so I'm pretty okay. And to be fair, it's still quite far to the north. We're far from the equinox, so the sun still sets quite far north of west. Sorry. Yeah, me too, Nigel. I've been loving these the cool temperatures. It's much easier for work. I mean, it's not too cool. We're calling it cool as if like low 20s, because I don't know where it is where you are, but for me it was like 23 degrees I think today as the high went, which would be comfortable for doing most activities, as long as you're not getting too physical. But even you can sit down and relax in that, and it's still pretty comfortable. And there's not been a huge amount of breeze or anything today, so quite useful for work, quite comfortable. And now it's cooled down to a point where I don't even really need the aircon on to cool things down. I just get to enjoy a more comfortable temperature in the evening. Or still plenty of time left then, Leland. Plenty of time left. Oh, that sunset's looking even nicer from this way. This is how we know you teachers are quite wicked, Fluff, because you don't get as much rest. Sue is in. Hi, Sue. Lovely to have you in. How are you doing this fine day? It depends for me, Nigel. Those are the temperatures what I would agree with if I'm being active. If I was just chilling out, or if I'm down at the beach, it's slightly different to that. Or I've got to just keep going because that guy isn't not stopping. Or a bit of flashing blues. It's that quick decision: do you stop or you keep going? And I was like, if I stop, I'd be beside the guy and I'll stop him from being able to overtake. The RIC guy hadn't noticed that he had a copper like zooming behind. So many people don't really pay so much attention when they're driving, and they just don't notice the police light sort of approaching. It's just crazy. It is crazy. I am raring to go for the weekend, Josh. I am absolutely loving the idea of being at Fluff's for a weekend where I don't have huge amounts of anything to do and I just get to relax. I have a couple of things I want to do, but they're not the kind of things that I'll be rushed about. I'm just taking it easy and things to pass time, basically. So let's go on to topic, guys. I reckon we've got everyone in. I've said all my hellos. Yeah, so the topic is likes and dislikes. There's a rule to this, which is that you can't say a dislike unless you've said a like. So we're going to talk about something, and the first thing we're going to do is each of the seasons, as suggested by Nigel. We will, each of us, if we want to, give something that we'd like and dislike about it, or more than one thing. But for everything that you dislike, you have to say something you like. That's the only rule. And we're going to just talk about things that like different subjects essentially on the topic of things that we like and dislike about them. So the seasons are the first one, and as autumn is my favourite season, we're going to start there and we're going to go around to winter, spring, and then back to summer. So everybody can talk about what their likes and dislikes of autumn are. For me, autumn, I like how it's warm in the evening, but yet it starts to get darker earlier, so I can do really cool stuff like go out for evening walks like fairly comfortably and enjoy like the sort of colours and like, you know, this sort of time of day, or indeed a little bit earlier, I guess, when it gets to autumn, where you can just go out in the evening. It's quite temperate. You get to enjoy the different colours on the trees, and then a bit later on you get all the lights and stuff from like, it's really cool if I'm doing like any kind of camping or like hiking in places like Ivanhoe or the Clappers, where you can get a view of the towns and get all the lights on. You can do it in other times of year, but the autumn's like the best time for it because it's the most temperate and you get to do it at a reasonable time. In summer you'd have to be out really late for it, and it's a little bit awkward. That's one of my likes. It's just and it is temperate overall, just over the days as well. That's right, Leland. If you're new to the topics, that's okay. Just try to follow what I've said. This should be straightforward. So you can just tell me something you like and dislike about autumn. I generally don't get any hay fever in autumn as well, which is quite good. So hay fever sufferers have a tendency not to have to worry so much. And bonfire night. That's a fantastic thing about autumn. I'm not sure if I have any dislikes about autumn, to be fair. Yeah, I like all the seasons. I'm with them on that while I wait to see what everyone else says about their likes and dislikes for autumn. I actually like the fact that we have seasons. Some places in the world don't have seasons. If you're equatorial, you don't have seasons. It's just the same all year round quite often. You might get like a wet season, depending on sort of certain things. But there are places like, where am I thinking of? Is it Uganda or something like that? Where it's literally just like most of the time it's exactly the same weather all year round, same temperatures, and same sort of like the length of their day doesn't really fluctuate much, which is like I wouldn't like that. I like having seasons, and I actually quite miss having like a really good winter, because we haven't had one of those for a while. So you're saying she likes the smell of rain and hot chocolate and yes, so that's another really good point that Sue's made there. The cooler temperatures mean I can start cracking out things like hot chocolates on my hikes and things like that. Because in the summer it's too hot to drag around a hot chocolate. Yeah, I like that sort of thing. It was quite nice when me and Fluff were doing our stargazing over at Wales. It's much cooler over there, and it was really cool that night. I think it got down to 9 degrees like early in the morning. I think it was probably more like about 10, 11 degrees, maybe 12 at the time we were actually outside. And so it meant we could like take a mattress and a duvet and just get snuggled up properly, which is kind of really nice. It's a really good excuse to be snuggled up rather than being too hot to do that. Oh, just got to focus on this junction and then I can read what Nigel's saying. Not liking the floods, but liking the cooler temperatures as well. The slipping on, I like that as well. It's quite nice. It's like the slipping on of the jumper and that. Yeah, just like autumn is quite a cozy. I'd say of all the months, autumn is like the one that feels the coziest. Certainly the back end of autumn. Oh, Leland with a birthday coming up. Happy birthday if we don't see you for the day, Leland. Sherry is back in. Hi, Sherry. Come up to Birmingham and do a stream outside the council house. I don't even know what the council house is. That sounds like there's a specific council house where it's like, like all the council housing, there's this one house. You know, I have been into Birmingham a couple of times, mostly just to pick up Tim or drop him off when we've been doing trips. He's been using the Flixbus, but yeah, I don't really get in there for much. I don't know it much at all. I'm not much of a city person, to be fair, but we'll get that. So that's later on in the topic. We can talk about that. So the next one is winter. Let's move on to winter. What does everyone like and dislike about winter? Now, what I like about winter is the snow. I love a bit of snow, which has been quite disappointing in recent years because we haven't been getting the snow. And I get to like run the stove a lot as well. Because that's a bonus of autumn, but I generally don't need to run the stove, and it can make the van a bit hot. But in winter, I get to run the stove constantly when it gets really cold and enjoy that fire all the time, and I quite enjoy that. The downside is, so the dislike is that generally costs money, but last year I did the whole harvesting of wood to get around that. I was going to harvest some during the summer season in order to build up a store. Don't think I'm going to get around to doing that, to be fair, because everything else that's going on, that's not really on the cards. I've got to deal with my allotment and stuff and start packing that down. Leland saying no, go to Gainsborough and do lives from there. Well, to be fair, on the lines of that is that's the sort of thing that I'm hoping to do. I'll do like some meetups and stuff with people, maybe do live streams from some of their local areas like that. I see what you're saying, Sherry. Yeah, well, these sort of things that I would eventually think about doing. I definitely am planning to do some travel and pick some like good filming locations. So if I ever need some filming location suggestions, I'll be paying attention to what people are suggesting like that. Oh yeah, I guess Josh has a very different climate to what we have. Yeah, that makes a bit of sense. I don't know what it's like in Louisiana realistically, but I'm assuming it's at least fairly different to here. We're always quite humid because obviously we're surrounded by water. It's just the way it is. What don't I like about winter? Dealing with condensation. That's one thing I don't like about winter. It is often like windows are cold and you've got like, obviously you're indoors a bit more, which I don't mind because it's, like I said, it's cozy, you have the stove on, and there are activities you do more in the winter, like board games and stuff, as opposed to summer where I want to be outside doing sports and outdoor activities. I still do a bit of both in all seasons, but you have a tendency to lean towards one or the other for the season. So the indoor activities become a little bit more prevalent in the winter, and that means because you're inside more, there's actual condensation building up in your house. I used to have this problem in the house. It's not just a van lifer problem, but it's definitely an issue that you have to pay attention to in a van. We have bad guy Cody in, so hi Cody, see you. Yeah, it's oh, nice saying he loves the hot meals you do in winter. Yes, that's a good one. But you dislike the ice. Yeah, I'm a particular fan of, like, you know, hearty meals at winter. I like that. But you can do them in autumn as well. And obviously, like, winter has Christmas, so that's a big like for winter. And but here's the thing though, if you're the kind of person who does starts Christmas early on, you're getting it at the back end of autumn, because in reality the switch over to winter happens around the 21st of December. I think that's when winter starts, because autumn starts in September and you got October, November, so December around 20th is when you get the winter side. So actually it's just before Christmas. So if you generally have, like, the start of the Christmas season is actually at the back end of autumn, and then you obviously have it at the start of winter, where you actually really have the Christmas, and then you've got New Year's. And New Year's is fantastic because you've got the fireworks again. I love a bit of New Year's, me. Hey, Duxter's in. Hi, Duxter. You're back. How have you been, my friend? Oh, a bit more gym, says Nigel. That sounds like a good idea. Fluff saying scraping ice off cars and heating bills. Oh, that's your dislikes. You have to do a like first. Oh, I like your Dark Nights. Okay, is that for winter? We'll class that. I just had to see that. I can see we're getting some good chatting actually. Really appreciate that. All right, the next one then, guys, is spring. What do we like and dislike about spring? I mean, spring's obviously nice for like all the spring flowers. I love that kind of thing. And then you get, like, you know, the colour coming back to the trees. And I think this is the thing all year round. I appreciate, like, so when it's hot in the summer, you appreciate the cooler weather in autumn, and then winter you can appreciate the really cold weather. And then when you're getting tired of that, you get the spring back, and now you're getting warm again. So I always appreciate the change in temperatures. I'm getting, like, I want the next one. I don't think I'd like to be in one of these countries where it's the same all year round. That would be a bit boring. Oh, look at this sun, guys. Can you see that peeking over the... Oh, that is deep, deep red. Oh, my. Oh, that's right at the point where I don't want to be driving into that. Oh, but I've dipped into a dip right now, so I'm sort of a bit safe, but that's going to... Oh, dudes. He was so loud and fast. That's just sent my adrenaline spiking. It's just like... That was ridiculous, mate. There's no need for that. I guess there's not a lot to dislike in spring, to be fair. Maybe like the spring cleaning and getting everything sorted after the winter, I guess, and prepping up for the summer. But the spring has so many cool things to do. Like, I do like a good hike in spring. Spring's when I did my cross-country trip, because that's such good weather for hiking and that usually. Although there is often a lot of flooding around that time of year, when things are thawing out and stuff like that. And I remember it was really flooded around the Thames when I was doing that trip. It was crazy. But we've got Nigel joining in quite well, and Fluff's thrown in a few. We need to get more people involved with our topic though. Spring has got to be flowers I love, but I dislike the start of the tree pollen. Yes, I'm with you there. It's the start of like pollen season, isn't it? And yeah, that's a dislike for that for sure. And then of course we finish with summer, which we're in right now. I would say I love the hot temperatures because it means I can go down to the coast and really enjoy swimming in the ocean, like I did at Barmouth with Fluff. That was just lovely. And I can enjoy like swimming in the rivers and that as well. But I dislike it but I dislike the same thing when I'm in the wrong lane again. I'm always in the left-hand lane here, but I want the right-hand lane. I forget this every time. It just doesn't seem to make sense to me. But I'll let these people get ahead of me. Yeah, it's not fun having the heat when I'm working. It's not great at all working outside in the crazy hot temperatures. So I'd say it's the same thing for summer, like and dislike. Just depends on when it lands and if I can work my way around it. So when we were doing van life a little bit more proper and we were like far more flexible with our time, and it was like the whole family unit in the van, anytime it was hot, we would just basically take the time off and just go off to the coast. And that's a fantastic way to deal with the heat. Which is why we never really needed aircon. I only find I need air conditioning because I'm like not able to like just get to the coast because if it lands on a work week. Look at this little sunset bit here while we go by. Look how red that is, guys. We should get a little bit more of it as I go up the M1 here. Onto the M1 we go. Must be a shepherd's delight. What speeds we got? We've got 60. Let these lorries get cracking. I'm going to sit in behind the DPT guy. Stick the cruise control on. Find the right speed that matches his. To just get a little bit further behind. I don't want to be too close. Oh, he's hitting brakes now as well, that's not good. But I actually need to be out of this lane. It's a bit frustrating, this lane. Go. Oh, Tennyson Canal boat trips. That sounds awesome, Nigel. You can really see the glow of that sky. Well, Ellie is out with her sister. I can't remember what she said she's doing. It's an event at the same place where she has a disco. I can't remember what it is now. It's like a... I can't remember if she said it was a play or something. But she's out essentially with her sister doing something fun. Excuse me. I don't know about Rach, but Rach often watches afterwards anyway. She often catches up on the commute. Ooh, that's interesting, Nigel. Now, I've been up in a hot air balloon, but I will say I prefer to be ground crew and chase them, or even just do a hot air balloon hunt. When the boys were little, we would go up to a local bridge in the car and park up, and it was basically a viewing spot where you could see 3 of the most local takeoff locations for the Virgin sort of red letter days kind of hot air balloons, so the big red Virgin balloons they have. And then I would go at the right time of the evening, so I learned how they fly them and stuff when I was helping the pilot under training. And so I knew there was a certain time of day where they'd go up and certain kind of conditions they're looking for. And when I knew the conditions were right and we could get out at the right time, we'd go off and we'd watch for them, and once we saw one go up, we would try to, I'd have looked at the weather patterns, figured out where they're going to go, and try to chase them down so we could be there when they landed. It was a lot of fun. go, just getting by this guy. No, the M1, not the A1. I started off near the A1. I was using the Fluff from there. But this is the M1. You sound like Ellie, Nige. She loves her horses too, doesn't she? Okay, so next thing for like and dislike, I'm going to say Christmas. There we go. Christmas, that's an interesting one. Should be a lot of likes there, I think, but there will be some dislikes too if everyone thinks about it. So I would say that I like giving presents. I'm always a bigger fan of like giving than receiving. My dislike is family pressure. There's always a bit of family politics going on, and I dislike that. Another like would be the food. Gotta love the food at Christmas. For me, Christmas is a lot to do with the food and the drink. But what do you guys like and dislike about Christmas? Oh yeah, Fluff likes the lights. I'd agree. That's definitely up there for me as well. I love me some good Christmas lights. There you go. So you've got the family dramas, yeah. I don't think there's always drama with my families, but there's always a lot of politicking. Sort of like last minute, sort of like pressure to do, like change things or do things in a certain way that makes somebody else happy. And it's not in a nice way where someone sort of wants to talk and discuss it. It's just basically, you know, done in not a great way. And I'm told what I'm allowed to get or not get people, and it's just, oh. I'd saying lights for Christmas, shop displays, that's nice, yeah. I was actually thinking I like a good grotto. Some moving parts like an ice rink of characters, yeah, I like that. Also displays that light up and play music. That's a long old message. I've got to keep just dipping in and looking at it. Oh yeah, the Christmas songs obviously as well. Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I have a Christmas list of videos on YouTube that I like to have on when I'm doing like Christmas stuff. I also like the Christmas movies. Everyone, quickly, what's your favourite Christmas movie? Your go-to? Mine is Klaus, the animated movie. It used to be like that original Father Christmas one or whatever it is, or Santa Claus I think it was called. It was the one where like the elf comes like away from like the North Pole and he uses the candy cane so he like make people float and stuff. But I love a good Christmas movie. Yeah, that's a big part of Christmas for me. And I have my like YouTube playlist, which includes The Snowman, because that's available on YouTube to just watch as is, and I quite like that. Oh yeah, Christmas jumper, that's another good one. I mean, there's loads of good stuff about Christmas. That's the thing. It's the best holiday season because there's so much going on with it. Like, I do love a good Christmas tree and a good Christmas display like that. What I don't like though is the pine needles everywhere. So I love a good tree, don't like the pine needles, so I always get the kind that don't lose them too easily. I prefer a live tree if I can get it. And I had a tree that lasted for quite a few years that I put down at the allotment in the ground so that it would survive, and then put it out for the next year. I did that quite a few years while I was in the van, just a small little tree. But before the last Christmas though, it did a weird thing where lots of, like, basically it bolted, so loads of like new shoots came out, and it doesn't look the right shape anymore for a Christmas tree. It looks weird. Has to be a right shape. Oh, Fluff likes Elf. Yeah, no, I'm not thinking of Elf, to be fair. If you're suggesting the one I was talking about, it's a much older movie than that, when I was a kid. But yeah, I'll tell you what, there's another Christmas movie. I'm wondering if anyone's ever heard of this movie. It's a bit of a cult classic now. It's mostly a Christmas movie just because it's set around Christmas time and stuff, but it's also got like that kind of feel to it. And it's called Bernard and the Genie. It had Lenny Henry in it as the genie, if I remember rightly, and I can't remember the name of the actor who was the main character. But it's a cracking movie, and I used to watch that so many times when I was little. I used to love that. Oh, see, like, Fluff going with the New Year's thing there. We should flip to the New Year's. What's our likes and dislikes of New Year's? Now, fireworks, I think, are going to basically divide people, I think, quite a lot of the time. There are people who hate fireworks because, like, they've got a pet that gets spooked by them or something. And then there's people who love them. I love them. I think they're fantastic. I don't think any pets ever died from the noise of them, and I think, you know, it's one of those things where it's a sort of a national pastime to have fireworks now a couple of nights. It's not like they're all year round, so yeah, I like my fireworks displays. And I like just New Year's for the idea of it being a fresh start. I don't necessarily like the way that I have to stay up quite late for it, even if I'm a bit tired. Because like, it's not too bad if I'm not tired, but sometimes I'm tired. I'm like, oh my God, I've got to stay up. It's quite difficult. And it kind of divides people in my family. Some people don't really want to do the stay up, and other people don't mind. Oh, that is an interesting point, Fluff. You also haven't done one madly in love with a man who's also madly in love with you, who also loves Christmas. So it could be quite an interesting one. Oh, you were saying Elf is your favourite movie, fair enough. Nigel liking the Christmas carols. Nigel saying he loves fireworks and bonfire things on the right day. Yeah, I prefer it on the exact day, but obviously weekend stuff and all. I wouldn't mind if everyone agreed, like, you know, if it's midweek with the actual night, if everyone just agreed on a particular weekend it was going to be. I think the issue is sometimes there are different events over so many different things, but at the same time, it's not like an event is done twice in the same place over a couple of different weekends. To one event in a different place, so I honestly don't see why people get all fussy about that too much. And obviously at New Year's, they're all done right at New Year's in the middle of the night, which I guess for some people is a bit infuriating. I remember my ex getting quite upset by the fact that the fireworks would wake up the boys, and I was like, well, it'd be fine, like when they were very little, like, you know, babies and stuff. I'm like, well, it's one night and I'd like to be up anyway. And I remember Henry actually waking up and me getting to spend New Year with him, and it was just me and him, and it was fantastic. That was one of my favourite New Years, to be fair. Alan Cummings, that's the guy. Oh yeah, and they had Rowan Atkinson in it as well. Yes, it was a great movie. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate you. Yeah, just a proper, like, all-star cast if you think about it. But the storyline as well was great, and the effects for the time that they used for the genie stuff was pretty brilliant. Alan Cummings was really good, and the only other thing I've seen him in is The Good Wife, and I think like a spin-off from that as well he was in. I don't feel known from anything else, to be fair, but he seems like quite a reputable actor and like well known. That's a nice way to do it, Fluff. Yeah, I think some people do fireworks for things like Diwali and stuff like that, which just adds another day in and different timings for it. I do feel like the thing about something like fireworks is you've got to keep it to a minimum, because otherwise, because it's a special thing, it's a treat. If you did it all day, all year long, it's a bit like people going, oh, I'd love Christmas to be every Christmas. The whole point is it's like, it's fleeting, and then you have to wait for that and build it up again. It's just, but then we have a lot of things throughout the year that we can look forward to. Well, we hope in a good way. By the end of this Christmas, you might feel like you really, really need a drink. Haven't put up with me the whole time. Oh dear. Chaiwala. I like that word. So, okay, so we've done Christmas and we've done New Year's. Should we do any of the other holidays for likes and dislikes? So I'm going to have to get into this lane. Well, this guy's motoring a bit. We should do Halloween, I think. Likes and dislikes for Halloween. I don't know if it's worth doing Easter, unless somebody wants to do Easter. But Halloween's an interesting one. I dislike how much candy or sweets, basically, the boys get hold of. And it's an excuse for them to go a bit too mad with it. Hey, Dave is in. Hi, Dave. Good to see you. How you doing, my friends? Yeah, but I like seeing people who put a lot of effort into their costumes. The costumes is really cool if people have put a lot of effort in. And I like how excited people get about Halloween. Some people get super excited, and like the effort people put into things like pumpkin displays and stuff, just fantastic. So it's like a whole atmosphere thing. I like that. What I don't like is people taking the mick with it and like sort of like the older teens going by and being greedy, stealing all the chocolates and sweets from a bowl that's been left out, and the rotten eggs basically that spoil it for everyone else. I used to love going out doing the trick-or-treating, and we'd know which houses would give money rather than sweets, and we'd often hit them up early in the night when I was little, and then we'd go back again later in the evening to get more. Me and my siblings really knew how to make the best out of Halloween, but you have to understand at the same time we were we were not well off. We were definitely poor, and so that kind of stuff meant quite a bit to me, that I'd be able to have access to some stuff that I wouldn't have the rest of the year. Yeah, I'm not sure where Halloween comes from. I thought that it came from like here, and the Americans kind of took it over but made it a bigger thing. But I could be wrong there. It might have started in America. I don't know if it matters where it started from. It's a bit like Father Christmas. Santa Claus was essentially invented by Coca-Cola, the one that we know now. It's an amalgamation of a few others, like Kris Kringle and a few others, but it essentially, that's why he's wearing white and red, because of the Coca-Cola colours. So sometimes, you know, a cool holiday thing comes out of a weird place, but it's still a cool holiday. Obviously it was like commercialised at that point, even though it was originally to do with like the Christian holiday of Christmas, but I'd rather have Father Christmas doing the rounds than Jesus Christ, to be fair. Fluff likes the decorating the house. Themed food. Oh yes, I bet you like that. But you're not into the trick-or-treating. Oh, interesting. Yeah, this is the thing. I think the kids where parents have a lot of money and the kids never really think about it, I don't think they're really worried about the money, and it's just a chance to do something a bit daft with their friends. I quite like how kids get together and do the trick-or-treating. I think that's always nice. And the boys did that a lot. Even when we were in the van, there would be friends of theirs that would like go say to them, "Oh, come do trick-or-treating with us this year, come do it with us," because like they'd have option of where to go. And we'd often end up doing it at Stotfold because there was a lot of their friends there and it was a good area. When we were in Henlow, that's where we were before we did van life, there was a good couple of spots in there where they did quite well. But they once did it over near Bedford in a place called Great Denham, because they had a friend over there who wanted them to do it there with him. So we essentially made the effort to go over there, and we thought it would be quite good and quite lucrative, and it was not. And the boys after that decided they didn't want to do that one again and went back to doing Stotfolds. So you're saying Halloween started in Ireland 2,000 years ago. Now that sounds right. So I was thinking it'd be somewhere over here, because it's like, you know, it's sort of to do with witches and stuff, isn't it? And it goes back quite far, I thought. Probably though in a different form 2,000 years ago. I don't know if anyone was trick-or-treating at that point. I'd be interested to know about that. So I reckon we're about halfway there, guys. Got Jamie in. I am driving to Burton-on-Trent. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about, Fluff. Some of the teenagers, like, they kind of abuse it a little bit. And they can be a bit aggressive if you don't have stuff sometimes in our areas. Well, I'm like, well, that's not cool. And they almost use it as an excuse for mischief, so they can kind of do a trick rather than worrying about treats. But yeah, there's definitely like some lads who also used to come around, like my parents' house when I was younger. They'd come around like not just on Halloween itself, but the night before, and maybe like the night after as well. And because no one would be prepared, they'd be like, well, you can give us money and stuff like that, like just brazen and not say trick or treat. And it's like, oh, it's not even Halloween. It's like, yeah, we're doing it early. And it's like, well, we don't have any candy. And it's like, well, have you got some money then? And it's like, wow. And it's just properly like bold and brazen. And I felt that was really out of line. No, it's longer than 1.5 hours, Nigel. It's about 2 hours in the van. It's about 2 hours. It depends a little on the traffic, but it's usually fairly consistently around the 2 hour mark. Come on, guy to my right, go a bit faster so I don't have to slow down and I can get into that lane. Oh, he's slowing down. Why have you done that? You've boxed me in. This guy to the right of me, you can see his lights. He's literally got to the point where I want him to overtake, and he's now made me have to slow down by like 6 miles an hour. So now I've got to spend fuel accelerating again. What a numpty. So he got right up beside me and then just slowed down and boxed me in. Well out of line. Yeah, well, they did knock on elderly people's doors, Stuff. That was the thing. I didn't see that modded chat. Whoever got modded, Fluff would have dealt with it, I'm sure. Well, Jamie, I'm driving up the M1 at the moment. I'll be coming off at Derby, going across on the A50. If that helps you at all. Yeah, I mean, there's a general rule over here, Nigel, which is if they don't have decorations out or pumpkins, you're not supposed to knock on their door. But people who have young children, like babies, or they've got animals that are really like not keen on getting knocked on the door like regularly, or just the old misers who don't want to deal with it, they put a sign out saying please don't disturb, blah blah blah. And that's fair. I think that's a fair thing to do. You know, I've not actually been to Derby properly, like to visit. I think I've been past it or through it a couple of times. Why is somebody flashing all the time behind? What is that person waving at me for? Have I got an issue? That's making me think that I've got an issue. I don't think I have an issue. That freaked me out. Somebody was beside me just kind of waving. And then there was somebody flashing behind me. Maybe they recognised the van from the streams. You never know, Dave. Could have been that. Could have been that. Bit weird. That kind of freaked me out. You got somebody flashing you, and then sort of they had their window down and were sort of like I guess, sort of waving in a way. That was rather weird. If that is somebody who knows the stream, that is weird, and but also quite crazy and cool. But if it is, do you know what though? I think it was someone just telling me to maybe like that they wanted me to get over, which is weird because basically I had a lorry coming up and that, like I was going past a lorry. I don't really know. Not sure because it just looked like they flashed somebody else as well. I don't really know. But it freaked me out because I'm like, have I got some problem with my van, and they're trying to tell me there's an issue, like something dangling down or something wrong with it. Oh, I've just realised I've got no lights on. Ah, that might have been it. I had my side lights on, but not my main lights. Hadn't noticed because there were the lights around. It's just, I've literally just been not noticed at all that my lights aren't on. There we go. I knew there'd be something. Figured it out. This is what happens when you start and it's daylight, and then the night comes in, and you don't really notice that it's getting darker. The thing is, there's so many lights around. My lights literally don't make anything look different to me. Obviously, it's about people being able to see me. So, good of them to try to tell me. I figured it out thanks to them. I might have been driving for ages without noticing that. Should have had them on ages ago. I like about Fluff's car and what was on the hire van as well was it had auto lighting, so like when it gets dark it just turns the lights on. Fantastic invention, that. How are we talking about Pink Panther? No, there's not loads of cameras, Jamie. It's just my phone. And for anyone else who was looking through from the side, probably couldn't really see what's on it, and they'd probably just think it was sat nav because it's in the same place I have it for when I've got my sat nav on. But yeah, I just hadn't realised that my lights weren't on. Well, my main lights. So I just had the side lights on. The side lights are always on. I quite like that with the van. There's don't have side lights, which I think is quite a good way to do it. So I think I can go over left here now. Oh, actually, I've just done that, and now I've got to stay in this lane to stay on the M1. Silly me. Perfect timing for that, I suppose. Just think I can't see any lorries too close ahead, and of course it's quite well lit here as well with the lights. Quite appreciate that. You can see miles up there because of the lights. At the same time though, it must cost a pretty penny to like have so many lights on for such a long period of time as well. there's a lorry up here. I'm just going to let this car to the right go. Well, it's actually a van. Let that person go, then I'm going to swing out to here. Yeah, I'm always happier when I'm travelling this way, Nigel. The travel to Fluff is always far more positive stream, and I'm always in a better mood. I mean, someone who could be given seizures because of lights, I mean, you're going to get it from people driving the other way. I think people that probably aren't allowed to drive, or at least aren't allowed to drive at night. I've heard of that. I don't know if that's the thing in this country, or America, or somewhere else, or everywhere. But I think some people do have restrictions on their license, like not allowed to drive at night, or other sort of weird and wonderful restrictions, which would make sense. Like, you know, if you get seizures from like flashing lights and stuff, I'm like, yeah, don't be driving at night. We're all odd in our own way, to be honest, Nigel. Well, I appreciate having you along, though. You're always a good bit of company, Nigel. You always keep the conversation flowing, which is good. I've quite enjoyed the topic today, which was entirely your doing, so I appreciate that as well. Much love for that. But admittedly, I'm getting to the second half of the travel, which means my brain is not necessarily on form now, so I will just be having a bit of verbal diarrhea for whatever comes to mind. I think we kind of ran the course on the topic as well, so a bit of a free fall now is okay. Oh, Iceland, that's cool. Are you still with us, Fluff, or are you doing a little bit of research as I speak? I have a feeling you might be. Whoa, that was some bright light. What was that about? Quite interesting. I get people sometimes suggesting that I should go and do live stream near them. Like, we had a couple of people suggesting places today. There was one for Birmingham, the council house. Oh, low levels of AdBlue already. Lovely. I only just topped that up, but I put half a tub in, so I can probably put another half a tub in now. What was I saying? Yeah, I let it get really low this time to try to kind of like reboot that system, because I keep having issues in the winter. When it gets cold, it gets a bit of crystallization on it, and then it just starts throwing up errors, and it's a bit annoying because I don't want to fix it because it costs over £1,000 to fix, and yet it's just an intermittent issue that doesn't really cause any problems, and other than the aggravation of me having to deal with it. I've got another person boxing me in. Just go, dude. I've just had to slow down so much for you. Like, what are you doing? This guy here, what an annoyance. Ah, you're busy. I thought you might be. Yeah, and then there was one saying they were from Lincolnshire, gave a street even. Which is weird, and said you should come up to, like, is it Gainsborough or whatever. And I'm just like, but then these people just disappear off, they don't engage. If I do any sort of meetups with people, it's people like Sparker who come in, show support for a long time, show themselves to be a decent human being, and someone who I'd like to get to know a bit better. And if I organise any like meetups, it's going to be in areas where those people are, not the kind of random sort of like, oh, can you come over to here sort of thing, and then just disappear off. It's weird. But I do think that's something I'd love to do. I talk about it all the time, and it's something I'll get around to when I feel like there's enough people in a particular area to do like a group meetup. I'm aware that people aren't going to want to travel hundreds of miles for anything like that, but it would be really nice. Oh, this guy's going to come out. I've got to go to the right and let him get up space. Better him than me carrying, like pulling along a caravan like that. I've never liked the idea of towing a caravan, because that was one of the ideas when building the van. I was like, I could do a caravan, and then you've got the vehicle. But the thing is, the weight limit is still the same. You can't, the whole thing, including the car and the caravan, can't be more than 3.5 tons. So having a separate car and then the van itself, I mean, it's you know, it's a bit of give and take, because the car's probably about the same weight as the chassis for this thing and the cab and everything. If it depends on the car, I guess, and the weight of this, but it's that sort of thing where having the independent drive on it is a bit nicer. And I don't like the idea of the thing just swinging around behind me. Like, nah, that just feels like abnormal. I know it works, but just in my head I'll be like, oh, this could go so many wrong. This could go sideways very easily, basically, for want of a better way to describe that. So I'm like, I'd probably rather not do that and have like a van like this. And this is much nicer to drive. I haven't got to worry about it like jackknifing behind me or anything like that. Fluff saying, oh, Leland being very young. Yes, to be fair. I think I remember him being in before and you telling me he was quite a young one. Cool little lad to be coming on the streams and showing a little bit of support. But at the same time, probably younger than should be watching YouTube lives. Oh, there's a bit of a bottleneck coming up here where you've got lorries in the middle lane. So I'm just trying to work out where I might be. I've definitely gone past the M6 part. That was a while back, because that bit where I did the silly plan. I don't think I'm getting too close to where the junction is, but this might be the long one in between the tunnel for just before the tunnel for Colville, which means I'm doing quite good time if it is. I have to slow down again. Just a little this time, just touch. I want to get in too close to the slurry. So now I can get over to the right. This guy's determined to overtake the two other lorries and this car with the trailer. But it doesn't look like he's making a lot of progress, I'm going to be honest. Oh wow, I'm catching up with these cars. It always looks so bright on camera. still quite bright out, to be fair. But how long ago sunset must have been. I know I'm kind of chasing the sunset a bit, but I mean, it's still quite bright up there. I mean, I wouldn't say the visibility is great, but I can still see quite far ahead. You know, not just people's lights, but actually see things, like, you know, things to the side of the road itself, the barriers and all that. It's all visible up there quite far. See individual trees still and stuff, so it's not just all silhouette or anything at this point. I drive Fluff's car sometimes, Jamie, but when we first did van life, we were doing it as a family of 4. We had a car and a van, and I would drive both. Now it's just me with my van, but yeah, I do drive Fluff's car from time to time. No, I'm a van lifer, Jamie. I'm not delivering goods. This car needs to stay in its lane a bit. I'll move over to the right a little bit, make some space. Well, no, this is the Coventry and Leicester one, but it's junction number 21. So we're not far from where I was thinking. I like the fact that I'm driving my home. I always like that. No, don't do anything like that, no. No. I wouldn't know, to be honest, about things like that. I've been self-employed for a long time now. I always had my own businesses for a while, and they've always paid well, to be honest. It is something I'm considering redoing again. There's always been a potential of rebuilding a new business, which I'm considering as a potential sort of backup plan to, because obviously relying on YouTube, even if I did well, wouldn't be a good idea. It's always good to have a backup plan. Yeah, the roads have definitely been pretty nice overall. Heavy with lorries on this side as always. But not as heavy as when I'm coming south. A bit later on, because often I leave Fluffs a bit later, and then there's like an absolute ton of lorries on this side. This guy's doing a bit of an awkward speed. I'm just a tiny bit faster than him, but then he kind of gets the same speed and then a tiny bit faster again. He's fluctuating a little bit. If I try to overtake him, the odds are he'll just get faster. But then I'm stuck being a bit close to him. I don't like it. So he's pulling away now. So I figured that if I tried to overtake it, just pull away. That's okay. So we're in that home stretch now where we're in the last, I guess, half an hour or so of driving, and I'm just relaxing with it now, just enjoying the drive. It's crazy how blue the sky still is. It's just, it's a long time for the sun to stop leaving its mark up there these days. So I'm in this car in front. I haven't changed speed at all. Cruise control is doing it all, so it's really, I'm really stable. And this guy is just literally fluctuating enough to be right in front of me and then further out. A retired Air Force commander, that seems cool. Why have you gone in front of me and then hit your brakes? That is stupid. I like that, Dave. It was entirely not a hint for that, because I don't drink tea or coffee. But if that was my dad, that would have exactly been that hint to my mum. My mum or dad, if they were on their way home, would always let the other one know, because they expect the kettle to go on. They'd want that cuppa as soon as they walk through the door. Or biscuits would be a thing, although I can't eat biscuits at the moment with my current diet. A bit annoying as it is. Might as well move out. There's nobody behind me for ages, and this lorry's coming up. Yeah, it won't be now, I think. Mr. or Mrs. Big Pants. What? Nigel learning the roadcraft and etiquette. Yeah, probably a few poor behaviours as well, I tell you. So what's this turn off here? Yeah, I thought it was much. Ashby and Colville. There you go. I'm starting to recognise the roads. The M1 where I am on it even. It's quite good. There you go, 12 minutes to junction 24, which is what I need. So I was right, it was somewhere between 10 and 15 minutes. Yeah, slightly bad signal area. It'll be right soon enough, I think. Well, that lorry's coming off. I can go left lane because he's going to come off. So often I'd come off here and go through that way. But when the traffic is good enough on the A50, this becomes the better way to go back and forth. I don't think you'd be a danger, Nigel. I think you'd pick it up easy enough. It's about having the right teacher and learning at your pace in a safe, comfortable area. So they generally start you off from like if you've got a good instructor, they'll start you off from quiet roads where you won't have anything to deal with, and they'll let you get used to the vehicle first and how it moves and how and all the pedals and how you're supposed to be aware. And they teach you all that first before they get you into any any kind of levels of traffic. And they get you they build you up slow, and it's the way it should be. Now, I didn't do it too slowly. I was pretty quick with mine as it went, because I was looking to be as quick as possible. And I was young and just wanted to get it done. But for those of us who aren't in a rush and aren't pushy with the way they learn, and you want to take your time and feel safer as you do it, you get the right instructor and let them know that's how you want to do it. They're gonna have no problem teaching you slow and sure, slow and steady. Yeah, exactly. You build up to it. Still bright up there. There's some red lights in the distance. I think that might be from an airport runway or something, maybe? I don't know, it looks odd. So Dave has gotten onto something there. My dad used to say you're only as good as the worst driver on the roads. I don't think that's true. You can mitigate some of the nonsense other people pull. So other people do stuff that can be a bit dangerous, but you can be aware of their driving. It's like spotting someone walking back from the pub a little bit inebriated. If you're paying attention, you'll see them coming a mile away, and you can opt to cross the road essentially and not walk directly past them. It's a bit like that with driving. You have a certain amount of preemptive ability to avoid issues. Now, there are things that you can't do that with. You're going to get caught out. There are certain things where you're just not going to get any warning and there's nothing you can do about it. But there's a lot of things that can have something done about it and that you can take action on, as long as you're preemptive and you're aware and you're paying attention. I think that's the difference between a decent driver and a really good driver, is someone who is actually paying attention to what the other people are doing and is mitigating other people's nonsense and their kind of danger, for want of a better word. So next junction should be my junction. Hey, Ellie's here. Hi Ellie, good to see you. Wonderful that you caught us. How was the thing with your sister? I forget what it was. I know you went out with your sister to the place where you have the disco. Was it? Did you say a play or something? I can't remember. You said, or was it a dance? No. So it's not a dance. It was something else. I can't remember what you said. You can remind me. But it sounded like a lot of fun anyway. I think you said that she painted your hair or something. Well, I hope it was fun. Musical, that was it. What was the musical, Ellie? Was it a good one? Red, blue and purple. Classic. Yeah, I'm in a good mood, Ellie. I'm on my way to Fluff and I'm nearly there now. I'm about to turn off the A50. And the nearer I get, the more excited I get. Oh, somebody has broken down. Not a pleasant place to break down. Oh, we got cones. We got cones on the hard shoulder. '60s hairspray, and that sounds amazing. How you are heading to Fluff? Yeah, always amazing to see my Fluff. There's still a fair bit of colour up there in that sky. If there wasn't cloud up there, it'd be really bright right now. I don't think the sun set as early as I thought. It just went beyond clouds. I think this is the thing. This is 23A. This is not my junction. There's one more to go. I forgot there was a 23A. I want 24. I think the first time I came up here without sat-nav on, I took this junction thinking that, because it said the A50, and so I took it and realised very quickly that I'd done the wrong thing. I need to just avoid 23A, go up a little bit further on the motorway here, then I'm good to go. Queue after junction. Do you think they're telling the truth? Down to 50. We're going to close off some lanes, which is fair enough. It's always difficult being apart from Fluff. But I am in need of a very big hug right now. Oh, there is a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, they're closing. Are they closing 2 lanes at the same time? I mean, can't say that's how I would do it, to be honest. Oh my lord. Well, I'd go in the right hand lane, but up here I'm going to need to go left. So I'm just going to take the slow speed and just accept it. Oh, stop hitting your brake, dude. Honestly. This guy in front of me keeps speeding up and then braking. So I've got to ignore him now and just pay attention to the lorry that's 2 car lengths in front, essentially. And match speed with that guy. And let this guy do his weird stop-start. I hope I can go left here. I'd have thought I could. Be a bit of a pain if I can't, because then I'll have made the right call about the junction only to find out that I Road ahead closed. Oh, if they've closed that and I could have turned off on the other one, I'm going to be so annoyed they have. Okay, I don't know my way from here. I wish I'd turned off on the wrong one now. There you go, there's me actually remembering. I was just saying how before I'd done the wrong one. Now I've done the right one and the ring is closed. So now I can't go down this one. And this is going to cost me some time. That is incredibly frustrating. Dear. So I would go in the fast lane, but now I need to figure out what I'm going to do. Like, why, guys? Why is that even closed? And it wasn't closed when I started my journey because Google was saying I could go up there. Just go through the cones. I tell you, it was tempting. If they didn't have the boards up there, I might well have done it. But they had boards cutting across the thing as well. So now I've got to go out of my way. Whereas if I'd have just turned off on 23A, I'd have probably been okay. Oh, that is double frustrating. Double frustrating, that. How far up here do I have to go before I get a junction to turn off and then got to find my way back? Have I got to just basically go up this, come back down to get to that same and come off? Oh my lord, that is so rude. There best be another junction soon. How far up here? And I've got to do 40 the whole way as well because of the what is this? Ah. Right, I'm going to do a quick U-turn. I'm just going to literally pull into the left through the cones, drive back down this bit of motorway the wrong way, and then go up that thing and just burst through all the barriers because Eddie says I should do it, so I'm just going to do it. Here we go, everyone. I'm going to go now. Could you imagine? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Nigel. I'm going to have to come down the other side and get off at the same junction. But that's a lot of time and fuel spent for nothing. And I'm just really frustrated by it. I'll be honest. Look, they're just putting it out now. So they've just done that. Just really, really annoying. And I don't know how far up here I've got to travel now. Every bit that I'm doing now is like a completely unnecessary bit of driving. Oh, I really wish I just turned off in 23A. Do you know what? There was a bit of me going, I could just do it as well. Yeah, I might need 2 big hugs now. I should have done it. I should have gone through all the cones, and then when they tried to do me for it, Ellie said, Ellie made me do it. Hey, Teddy's there. Hi, Teddy. Yeah, too far north now, Teddy. Too far north am I heading. I'm now on a bit of road that I don't really want to be travelling on. Going who knows where, waiting for the next turn off, which could be in like 20 miles knowing this bit of the M1. God and Bennett. Got Oliver in, asking if the kids are with me this weekend. Not this weekend, no, but I will have my boys with me next week, which I'm looking forward to as well. Is that people flashing at each other? I think it is. The lorries were flashing at each other. There is a speed camera here. I wonder if anyone got caught. Jeez Louise. It's to the point where I'm frustrated enough that I'm not even going to pull out into the outside lanes and go fast. I just need, like, I don't know why we're in this, well, I'm in this lane because I can't quite get past this lorry to my left. I'm just going to go a bit faster and see what I'm doing. Now, I'm going to stay in this lane. There's a lorry up there, just ahead of these guys. Might need to get left though. I'm a bit worried about this lorry just behind me. I need to maintain a certain amount of speed. And this car in front of me is not doing that. Come on, give us a turn off. Oh, is this a sign for a turn off? Please be a sign for a turn off. I do not like this car in front of me. 1 mile. Jeez. Well, that's some fuel I'm not getting back. That's an expensive detour, that. The sky is still bright. You can see quite a bit of blue to my left. You can make it out just underneath the lights there. Oh. That is so whack. You know, they better not shut me off the other side of things as well. Oh, this guy with this erratic behaviour on the roads. Don't do that. Ugh. As well, I wish I could have my sat nav on. It would tell me what direction to go and if there was a better shortcut to just cut across. But I'm going to have to suck it up and just go back down the M1. I know lorries do that, Oliver, but they were either side of the motorway, so I don't think it was to do with overtaking. Over the M1 we go. At least we've got the green light. Past this little Long Eaton turn, and we have the M1 South here. Okay. More roadworks. These guys can take a long walk off a short pier, I'm telling you. Nonsense. What are they even working on? These roads are awesome. There's no need to work on anything. Oh, look at it, that is crazy. What are they doing here? Jeez. No, on a junction doing this? What they're trying to get people killed, I swear. If that had been a busy bit of road, I'd have been in some right big trouble with that. But if it was doing your feet in, Ellie, that would be weird because it's on your head. So it makes sense it's doing your head in. Thank you, Fluff. At least I know that I'm on the best route I can do now. It would have been so good to have avoided this and just gone up that junction 23A. I mean, what are they even doing? Honestly, they're just closing off road for no reason, I swear. The amount of times I'm on the M1 here on different sections, and they've closed off. Like, there was one time when they closed off 3 out of 4 lanes, and nothing was going on. Nothing at all. Middle of the night, nothing going on. Nobody was out over there working on it. Nothing at all. I'm like, what are you guys even doing? What is the point in all this? They're closing this side. Do you know what? If they've started closing off this side as well, I'm going to be livid. Same thing's happening. They're putting it down to oh, just jokers. Just don't even. They might be closing off the junction up here. If they do, I'm going to be absolutely furious. Because it was open when I came by, like, I don't know, 6 hours ago. It feels like at this point. Oh, everyone's getting over, but I don't know that we need to get over. What is that stink? Did somebody hit their brakes or clutch or something? I think so. I think somebody's burnt their stuff out. Like, somebody's going to go up my left. That lorry's like going, yeah, I'm doing this as well. I'm like, yeah, I'm turning a left up here, and I don't think that they are actually, I don't think that sign's legit. I'm going to be honest, I don't think it's legit at all. I don't think that's a thing in any way, shape or form. I'm going to get over to the left and follow this lorry. Yep, we all started ignoring it. We all went, yeah, they're just lying again. Ridiculous. I think they might be about to close this down, you know. I mean, worst case scenario, I can get down to 23A, but I really don't want to have to do that. Speed cameras there. Make sure we're not doing more than the 40 we're allowed. I don't think they're hooked up to it, but you never know. Oh, they are. Do you know what? They've closed off the junction. Oh, they've delayed me enough to then close me off from this one as well. That is jokes. That is jokes, people. Okay, I'm going to need to put a left or put a righty here. I was going to go into the next lane, but somebody was getting too close to me from behind. Oh my lord. Oh no, wait, it's still open. Aha, this one's open. Aha, that's alright. Whew. Whew. What are these guys even doing? So the way I see it is, these guys are all like, we're not in a rush. Like put people out for, because I'm pretty sure you could organise these things at A, a better time, and B, where am I going? Where is this taking? Have I took a wrong turn? I thought this was going to be a junction and I'd go on the A50 to somewhere else. Have I took a part of the junction which takes me the wrong way? No, I'm going over the M1. That's good. No, it's fine. It's fine. Right, that's about to freak out then. Whoa. Jeez Louise. Oh wait, it starts from here. This is the start of the A50. It only goes one way. I'm talking nonsense, guys. Ignore me. I'm just stressed. They've managed to add enough to my stress that my brain is breaking down and I'm not really thinking properly. So aggravated now. Ellie, you're such a wind-up. I love it. Oh dear. I'm going to be honest, I might have started the journey earlier, but I'm not getting there much earlier if all this traffic keeps happening. Now I tried to calm down on the A50. I might get some cooler air on me. Oh, that's a bit nicer. Derbyshire and River Trent. Guess I'm going over the river right now, this bridge. The DX lorry looks like it's broken down. Or maybe his tacho ran out and he had to just pull over. Well, the sky is barely blue now. What the hell is this about with the lorries? Right, well, I don't even know. Why have the lorries gone in middle lane like that? I was going to overtake them in the middle lane and they've all gone into the middle lane. Oh, this happened before, actually, thinking about it. This has happened before. The signs make these guys think that they need to be in the middle lane, but they don't actually need to be in the middle lane. All the way back there. I think a bit further up here they do. But back there they didn't. Well, I swear I could hear the music coming from this car in front here. Some weird sounds. Yeah, it won't be long now, Nigel. Nearly there. Oh, you wouldn't like me in two pieces then, Fluff, I see. I see. I think this is unrealistic expectations. Or do you do like a jigsaw? Oh, I do like that. Well saved. Well saved. junction 3 for the A514. Junction after this is the one I'll be needing. Oh, we've got Jamie back. What was for supper? Jam on toast. Ooh. Similar to mine, I had a bit of cheese on toast. I don't think it took any of that to get me up here. Well, the power of love, maybe. I could quite have easily just stayed where I was for the evening and driven up tomorrow. But I can't wait to see Fluff. So the power of love has got me driving up this evening, that's for sure. Another lane closure. How many have they got to put on up here? Well, I was still working at 5 PM, Nigel, to be fair. Ah, you dip. That's fair play. That's an interesting way to have your jam and your toast. Can't knock it though. Sounds like a nice way to do it. Yeah, the sky is very dark now, but there's still some light up there. You can see the difference between the clouds and the blue bits. Oh, look, Fluff need know the flavour even now. I think I prefer strawberry over raspberry for jam. Now I'm a man who likes his jam smooth though. I don't like the bits. So I have the seedless jam. Who's with me for seedless? There'll probably be some people in the comments going, oh no, not that rubbish. But I do like a bit of seedless strawberry jam. Nigel's liking the apricot, that's fair play. I mean, I don't mind raspberry jam. I'll have it. I just prefer the strawberry one. Not that I could eat either at the moment. This person is moving very, very slow. Wow, when's this turning coming up? When it's this long in between, I start worrying I've missed it. I don't agree just because I'm supposed to agree with anything. I have my own mind. Fluff has hers and I have mine. In this way, she knows that when I do agree with her or I say something nice, she can 100% believe that I'm telling her the truth and it has more weight. If she thought I was just saying things to placate her, that would weaken all the things I say. Oh, you watch me on the maps? Fair play, that's a good idea. That makes it easy, doesn't it? You have my location. That's good. Ah, I'm sorry to hear that, Jamie. So, this bit here for the Willington Turner. I recognise this bit. For diesel prices have gone up again, haven't they, guys? I'm glad I topped up massive at that other place, but I have less than half of the tank of that left now. Oh, that's nice, Jamie. I've been missing you too, Fluff. Not far away now. Not far away at all. Hey, Eddie's back. How is the hair? Is it all sorted? Oh, I don't like level crossings. You think? Well, you'll find out in the morning, I guess, when you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I missed a bit. Oh, if your mum did it, I'm sure it's been done well then. Tricky to do it on your own and make sure you get it 100% when it's that sort of thing. Go through the middle of this bit. Give them a little thank you. I think when I pulled up, I'm going to have myself a hot chocolate, you know. I think I've earned a hot chocolate at this point. Oh. Oh, Gracie's back with us. Hello, Gracie. Whoa. Oh, that bit was bumpy. Over the bridge. Over the Trents. Had to cross this river a couple of times now. Can't say I ever did, Jamie. Right, I'm struggling to read chat now, guys, because I can only look down for just the tiniest of moments. So, like, Eddie's written something quite long, and there's no way I'm going to be able to read that. At this point, either expect me not to respond, and or if you've done something very small, maybe I can respond, but it has to be very short. How many times will you put through a mangle, Nigel? Oh dear. Jamie talking about having a wash in a wash basket. I wasn't quite sure if he meant actually like having a bath in like, or being washed in one somehow. By the way he said it. And he's saying about the mangle, sounds like you're gonna go through the mangle. Like, oh no. Oh, that's actually a speed bump. Yeah, it's not too bad, thankfully. Now this is not a pleasant nighttime drive, this part. I'd rather have been doing this in the daylight. But there we go. So there is a speed bump up here somewhere that I have to remember. Drawing on memory of the road now. Done it enough times to remember. We've got lots of modded chat. Sorry guys, I really can't check the modded chat. And even if Fluff unmods it for you guys, I don't get to see it. Somebody behind me with incredibly bright lights. Unnecessarily bright. Thank you guys, appreciate you. Whoa! Idiot with his full beam on, left him on too long. Not a fan of that at all. That was a push bike. Jeez. Braver person than me. I don't think I'd be riding this at this time of night on a push bike. I wouldn't like it in the daytime. This time of night, oh, seems like a bad idea if you ask me. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't have your full beam on. You want going around roads like this. Just a poor person that you blind will not be able to see very well afterwards. Like just a smear of like bright patch on their vision every time they blink after that. You notice the lights of the guy behind me, they keep putting their really high beams on and then they kind of wash out everything. Like this guy behind me's got his high beams on and he's literally lighting up more of the road in front of me than I am, which means I can I can literally just see nothing in my rear view mirrors. I'm having to avoid looking at them even. It's awful. Oh, this bit's so gnarly. Oh, you see that? See what I'm talking about? You can see his lights. Just then you see the shadow of the van, and then once he sees me, he turns them down. It's like it's a bit late by that point. Jeez. Right, we're getting close to final destination, and my night vision's already gone, so I might as well put some lighting on. There we go. I'm going to let this person get past me, I think, just because they're a right aggravation. I'm just going to pull over and let them go. Going with your full beams behind me all the time. It's ridiculous. Gordon Bennett. There's always one, isn't there? There's always one. Now, I think it's bad enough when people are using their full beams on roads like that enough to blind people coming the other way. But when you use your full beams enough when you're following somebody, that is well out of order. That is crazy. That is just ridiculous. Hey Vic, good to see you, my friends. Yeah, still on. Oh no, it's about a 2-hour drive. It's been a little bit longer than that because of a stupid detour on the M1. I tell you, Vic. Stupid stuff. Really annoying. That didn't work. How annoying. Might have to use the ramps. Yep. No choice. Got to use the ramps. So this is always a fun bit. What he says and makes it work. Just got up there. far afield on it, but a little bit of work to do. Not unhappy with that. Mountain the front garden, says Fluff. Yeah, pretty much. Just lining. Oh. Right. So they might do that. Right, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and I need to get out, put some ramps on, and park this properly. But I am on the garden, very close to seeing Fluff. Yeah, thank you guys for keeping me company. I really appreciate you all. I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. I guess that'll be a normal Saturday one, so we'll have a proper topic. But yeah, it's been an absolute laugh tonight with you guys, and I can see a Fluff waving at me looking all beautiful. Take care, guys. Love you all. Have fun.